In this lesson, we will tackle the most common mistakes that are related to the letter ha. The ha sound is not the most complicated sound. In fact, it is possibly the easiest sound in Arabic, since it only requires that you let air pass through your throat. But still, if you exaggerate the sound when it comes in the middle of the word, it will essentially empty your lungs of air if you press too hard on it. And this is the first common mistake that you have to pay attention not to make. And it sounds like this. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. So as you can hear, I exaggerated the pronunciation of the ha, which will essentially empty your lungs of air. And while this doesn't change the sound of the ha, or change the meaning of the word, it is not considered to be the proper way to pronounce it, since it might affect the recitation of the rest of the ayah. So it is not good practice. And what you should say is اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. So if you have an exceptionally short breath while reciting the Quran, this is one of the areas that you have to check to make sure you're doing it properly. Next, when a word ends with ha sound, you should make sure that it is not left out, since the sound is just a gush of air coming out. So this mistake can easily happen, especially if the ha was preceded by a letter that has fatha on top. And if it is not properly pronounced, it will sound like you stopped at that letter with fatha on top of it. Let's compare the following examples. ما أغنى عني مالية هلك عني سلطانية. Now here I didn't pronounce the ha at all. It should sound like this. ما أغنى عني مالية هلك عني سلطانية. So you have to make sure that the ha is pronounced at the end of the word. Let's have one more example. كانوا لا يتناهون عن منكر فعلوه. Now here it sounded more like فعلوا, while it's supposed to be فعلوه. Let's see how to pronounce it properly. كانوا لا يتناهون عن منكر فعلوه. Another mistake that is related to the ha is when it is followed by another ha. And the mistake would be that you pronounce them as one or merge them. And this mistake is more likely to happen when both ha have the same vowel. Now let's hear what the mistake might sound like. يوم يحمى عليها في نار جهنم فتكوى بها جباههم. Here I pronounced only one ha, maybe a bit longer, but I certainly didn't pronounce both ha's properly. This is what it's supposed to sound like. يوم يحمى عليها في نار جهنم فتكوى بها جباههم وجنوبهم وظهورهم. It should also be noted that ha and ha can follow one another in the Quran, and while this doesn't happen very often, when it happens, you have to make sure to pronounce them clearly, especially in this example. وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَاسْجُدْ لَهُ وَسَبِّحْهُ لَيْلًا طَوِيلًا. Now here I clearly didn't pronounce the ha, and what I did is that I extended the ha sound and I added a dhamma at the end of it. And this is usually what happens because this combination of sounds is not the easiest. But make sure to pronounce the ha and ha clearly by saying سبحه سبحه, and in context is going to sound like this. وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَاسْجُدْ لَهُ وَسَبِّحْهُ لَيْلًا طَوِيلًا. Finally, if there are any common mistakes that are related to the ha sound and you want to see them highlighted and corrected, then let me know about them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you want to start your journey to learn the tajweed of the Quran, you can click on this link. And if you want to understand the Quran in Arabic, then you should click on that link. And finally, I hope you've learned something new today, and I will see you next time.